where you have like a picture and you can't tell what it is. It's just some crazy mixed up thing. You're supposed to like blur your eyes and hold it out like about 3 feet away from you. And then after about 15 minutes, you either have a seizure or you see something, like all of a sudden a unicorn pops out and you're like, oh my God. It's like hallucinogenic drugs. It's free at the library. They got them in here, I'm sure, somewhere. It's like that, right? You don't see it unless you look at it in a certain angle. And certain people have the luxury of, I guess, not ever opening a book like that, looking at it, right? Looking at the picture. So to you, it's like, I don't see anything. But the folks who've had to focus their lens a little bit more clearly, right? They see it and they're like, don't you see? My kids would do that to me with these books. Like, don't you see the unicorn? I'm like, there's no unicorn. It's just a bunch of stuff on a page. It's sort of the same way when we talk about things like race and racism, right? And so people of color look at these things, they see patterns. After a while, too many isolated incidents become a steady precedent. Right? And they become something that's much less isolated than some would like for it to be. So let's think about not just what happened here in Flint, let's think about Baltimore for a second. I mentioned urban renewal, but let's get back and talk about lead as it relates to Baltimore, because see, this lead story isn't just a Flint story either. Right? In city after city, and Baltimore is emblematic of this in ways that are as good as any. It was a city where row house after row house after row house after row house, owned by slumlords who did not, of course, almost by definition, live in the city of Baltimore. They lived in the county. They lived out away from the city. Owned all these apartment complexes, owned all these row houses that they rented out. They were known to have high levels of lead paint which wasn't really banned, I guess, technically until the early 1970s, right? And rather than get rid of the lead paint, they just sort of ignored it, continued to rent